Hi everyone, I'm George. This is my Aquascaper 1200. I'm going to show you guys how I aquascape it. I can't wait to get started. It's my biggest aquarium at home. Hopefully it's going to look awesome. Enjoy the video. If you're first time on the channel, hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and you'll never miss a thing. So as you can see, I've already installed the hardscape and the substrate. The substrate is Maui sand from Unipack, a quartz gravel. It's about 1 to 2 millimeters grain size and quite rounded. And the stone itself is Frodo stone, which is quite unique in the UK. I believe the only shop that sells it right now is Aqua Depot. I'll put a link in the description. And the soil behind is Tropica soil, and that's mixed in with a little bit of the old Maui sand, which is from the previous aquascape. I just thought I'd reuse and recycle the soil because it contains a load of beneficial bacteria. So I'll just run through the basic concept behind the aquascape. It's a triangular composition. So we've got the lower part here rising up to the highest parts at the right there. I'm going to fit some wood in there later, or experiment with the wood to make sure it looks okay. So tall plants on the right, and then going down to shorter plants, and obviously an open space here. Now the reason for that is one, that I love triangular compositions. I just think they flow really nicely across the aquarium, and also because of where the aquarium is viewed from. So there's a thoroughfare here, and there's a dining room table over there, and so when we're viewing the aquarium we can see through this end here, and it just adds a new dimension to the aquascape, makes it look really cool. If it was just a normal flat linear aquascape and we had tall plants maybe around here, you're kind of missing out on looking at the aquascape from this angle here. When I was positioning the Frodo stone, I paid attention to its positioning and where I put the biggest one. So this is like the focal stone, and then moving down to the second biggest, and then working my way down in size. And the stone also acts as a barrier between this open substrate area here and the soil, which we'll plant into. And then I use small stones here, just almost randomly placed, to help create this naturalistic feel that I really love. So I've got some pre-soaked Manzanita wood here. In fact, this was used in the previous scape, which was in this aquarium. I'll do a link to that right now. So I always start off with the biggest piece, and I'm quite keen to get more height in the aquarium. At the moment it's quite flat, so I do like to have wood coming out the top of the aquarium. So let's start off with that there. Working our way down to our next biggest piece. Let's continue that line of that wood so it looks like one long piece of wood. And the thing is with hardscaping, you can always come back to it. You don't have to settle for it straight away. Take your time. If you've watched any of my videos, you'll know how much I put an emphasis on creating a nice hardscape layout. Okay, I talked briefly about the plants we're using at Aquarium Gardens earlier. I'm not going to explain how I prepare them because you can see that in a load of my other videos. So let's crack straight on with preparing them. Okay, first thing I'm going to do is plant my Anubias nana. This is a classic low maintenance plant and does really well in shaded areas, so that will be suitable just for here. You can just poke that in like so, and that will secure itself no problem. It likes to be attached to decor, doesn't like its rhizome, which is the fleshy part where the roots come out from and the leaves grow from. That needs to be exposed to circulating water. Okay, next we've got some Bucephalandra. This is Bucephalandra deep purple from Aquaflora, and then similar technique, I'm just going to poke that in a nice wedge, just wedge it in there. This is Bucephalandra red from Tropica, and I think I'm just going to remove this little stone here and then pop that in there. More Bucephalandra here. This is the deep purple from Aquaflora, and let's just see if we can put it in here. I love Bucephalandra, very popular species. Talked about it a few times in my previous videos. Quite new to the hobby, and just make sure you get it from a sustainable source rather than the wild specimens that you can get from the jungles in Borneo, where they're not really looking after the local habitats. Okay, next we've got a tray basically just full of crypts. We've got some old crypts from a previous layout which have grown quite tall, and then we've got some new crypts which I've just prepared. So I'm going to plant them right now. So far I've used Cryptocoryne petchii, which is the really mature one, which I planted at the start. Beautiful browny red colour. Then I planted the Cryptocoryne nevilii, quite a tall, or medium height, but a slender bright green leaf. And then I planted some Cryptocoryne cordata, which is an interesting leaf shape. It can be like quite ruffled, quite curly, and it also can take on a red colour. And now I'm planting Cryptocoryne walkeri. So I will list all of these species in the description. It's important to keep the plants wet, stop them from drying out. So give them a bit of a spray. Okay, in the right corner I'm going to plant some Cryptocoryne crispulata. This is Tropica 1-2 grow, and it will grow really tall. And the idea is it's going to overarch the aquascape, provide some shade underneath, and just be the perfect kind of height for this triangular layout. Okay, next I'm going to plant some Cryptocoryne undulatus red. Again, this is Tropica 1-2 grow. I'm planting this just behind the rocks, and it should grow just above the rocks. Here you'll see the nice reddy green leaves protruding above. Acts as a lovely transitional plant to the bigger crypts that are behind it. Next I'm going to plant some Ludwigia palustrus super red. These are actually cuttings from my Aquascaper 600. It did need a trim. This will serve two purposes. It's going to add instant colour to the aquascape, but also because it's a super fast grower, it's going to hopefully help prevent any algae issues. Okay, last but not least, one of my favourite plants of all time, and one that adds an instant focal point and instant sense of maturity. Can you guess what it is? Good old Java fern. So this is actually called Microsorum pteropus petite, or compact from nevilii, and this has actually been growing for well over a year in a display tank at Aquarium Gardens. I used some of it already in my Aquascaper 600. And there's still plenty left, so I'm using some in here. And it's a great plant, likes to be attached to decor, important not to bury the rhizome. slow growing, but as with all plants, if you inject CO2 it will grow relatively quickly. Actually does best in good light and good nutrients, although it is marketed as an easy plant for beginners, but to get the best from it you really do need to look after it like any other aquatic plant, and give it plenty of food, plenty of CO2 and plenty of light and plenty of circulation as well. Okay, that's the plant complete, really happy. Okay, so the tank's filled with water and it's pretty much complete. The lighting's set on an 8-hour photo period. The CO2 is set on to come on 2 hours before the lights and an hour to come off before the lights go off. The plants obviously need to grow in to make it look more mature, but I'm really pleased with the layout. It's going to clear up in the next day or so. The water will be absolutely crystal clear. Got two very powerful filters on here, JBL 1501E green lines. So given a total turnover of about 10 to 12 times the tank's volume per hour. That circulation is really important to help get that CO2, feed those plants really well. I've already put some cherry shrimp in there. They're bulletproof and they'll be absolutely fine in here. The filter media is mature already, and those shrimp are going to breed prolifically in here and just help keep everything really clean. No idea about fish choice. If you've got any ideas about what fish you'd like to see in here, mention them in the comments below. So you can expect some update videos of this in the next week or so. You know what I'm going to say next? Keep on scaping. Take care guys and have a great new year. Cheerio.